quick tutorial, I want to talk quickly about how to set up the Android SDK and NDK for Unreal 4.25. Later I will share this link to our post so you can read by yourself. Basically the idea is my last tutorial is based on the old version 4.23, which include a bunch of files in the C drive after the installation, which is done by the CodeWorks. However, if you are using the 4.25 now, you'll have to reinstall this Android SDK. Otherwise, when you package, it will fail. The best way to do that is just follow the instructions step by step. They do recommend to remove the old version in order to get the new version installed. But I did the test. It looks okay if you want to keep both old version and new version all together in your C drive. As you know, the old version was installed by the CodeWorks. So in my case, I still need to have some access to the old version. That's the reason I decided to keep everything still in my C drive. The NVPack folder, right? Just let you know, the old version is the 14B. So I did manage to install the new version 21st-D. So I will show you the whole process and how to do this for the Unreal 4.25. I do recommend you watch my old tutorial first before you watch this one, so you can get a general idea about workflow. The first thing I did is I followed step 1, install Android Studio, which is pretty big, but after all of these steps, you should have the Android Studio installed in your computer. All right, that's a pretty simple process. And then you set up this Android Studio for the first time. Just follow the tutorial. And then the third step, this one is more important, is to run this Android NDK R21B. So ideally, this can be done by just double-click the file in your installed E drive. I installed Unreal 4.25 directly in my E drive, but in your case, probably the C drive. So here, if you go to your engine, if you go to extras, and if you go to the Android, you should be able to double-click set up Android BAT. So this BAT file will automatically download this big package, right? But for some reason, if your computer has not able to automatically download the file, don't be panic. You can still manually download this file. This is basically a big SDK file, NDK file, R21B. So that BAT file basically just go to the website, download this automatically, put in your users folder. But however, in my case, it doesn't really automatically download, so I manually download by myself. So here I can show you the link. Later I will post this download link as well. This is called NDK. So I download this 21st-D version for my Windows. So you can do this manually. And then after you unzip, just make sure the file you want to put inside either your C user folder, or you can put in a folder later you can manually point to. So in this case, I unzipped this directly into my C drive, NVPack, Android NDK R21D. So this is the place I unzipped this NDK file. It's pretty big, it's about 3.5 G. So basically this code will allow you to package your Unreal directly into an installation file. All right, so later I will show you the interface, how to do it. So once you have this NDK put in your C drive manually, then you have to manually link this NDK within Unreal. But if you do not have issues to download automatically, if you do not have issues to install the just the new version, it should be automatically done. You don't have to put any code directly here. It should remember all the settings. If you have a fresh new installation, you don't have to manually point to the SDK file. Yeah, so that's pretty much the whole process. And here I will show you quickly the settings I did. So that's pretty much the same as we did in the last time. So basically you need to just follow the tutorials line by line, how to set up the Unreal, follow the interface. All right. So here I will just show you quickly how I did this. So first I will go ahead, open the project settings. Alright. So where you can see is settings, project settings. Alright. So once you open the project settings, then the next thing you want to do is to set up the let me see where I have that link. Learning. Give me 1 second. I just want to pull out that original page that include all the pieces we need, because it's hard to remember everything. Character UI. Here we go. Alright, I'll just put this link right here. Alright, so this is basically based on the Oculus Quest, and this is all the settings you need to follow. Again, I will put this link later available in this post, so you can basically go through them. The first thing you want to do is you have a new project. They would recommend start with the fresh one. I could recommend with the VR project, because that one has some default motion capture, motion control based VR settings you can set. Right, so this is the project settings, and then you go with the plugins, then you set up the input panels, then you go through all of these details line by line. It's a pretty straightforward process. If you are not sure, just refer to my last tutorial. It covered pretty much everything. So here I will show you really quick. The first thing I do is, number one, make sure in a plugin you do turn on the virtual reality, and you turn on the Oculus VR. So this one is already turned on. Once you turn on this one, then you can go to projects. You can follow the details. Right. The first thing is you want to make sure you have at least a map, so you can point to. It doesn't matter which map you do. I will just do a lobby. This is my current project. Right. So that's the first thing you do. Then you follow the. I will just make this one in another screen. Then you go to engine input. Right. Turn off this, and here you can see the mobile. Just make sure is clear. It's none. Okay. Nothing here. And then you go to platforms, Android. So here, platforms, Android. Right. I already turned on, but by default is red, so just turn on that. Then you give SDK version 25. Right. And then you enable the full screen immersive. So that is, I believe here, full screen immersive. Right. And then you want to do is go to advanced APK packaging right here, and here you want to add the Quest as your device. Right. So here advanced package for Oculus Mobile. Sorry for the small fonts, and here you can see the Oculus Quest is in the list. And then you go to the engine session. It's pretty long, but you only need to do this for the first time. Engine session. Okay. Okay, and then you go to rendering. This is the place it basically optimizes the renderings for the Quest. Quest is basically an Android phone, so it has to reduce the quality. So here the mobile, I do 4 times MSAA, and also you want to turn off HDR rendering because that will cause a lot of issues. All right. Yeah, I believe it's in the VR session. Right, so here VR session, you see the HDR is turned off. Right, just make sure. Yeah, that's pretty much about what you need to do in the project settings. And then you should be able to launch into the Android. Since I don't have the Quest linked here, it doesn't show up. But in the Play settings, hold on. Right, supporting platform in the launch, you could check Android. So you could directly launch your VR thing into your Quest. And then you should also go ahead package Android as ASTC. This is the preferred option for 4.25. In the old version, you can do the first one, but in the new version, I would prefer you go to ASTC. Okay. So once you package your project, it should generate an installation file. So here I can show you what the installation file looks like. I did quite a few different try. So under the ASTC, you should see this installation file, BAT file. So if you have your Quest linked to your laptop, and then you double click this BAT, is basically will push all the packaged file into your Quest. So this is basically the real data there, APK and OBB file. All right. So that's the whole process, how you can publish a model directly into your Quest. There's one more thing I do want to mention is in your project settings. This is the way I usually do. In the packaging, you do have the option. If you click this arrow to open it, you do have the option to define which map you want to publish. So here, let me see, where is it? List of maps for packaging. So if you do have a lot of maps in your project, you could identify only one or few maps you do want to publish. This will force the packaging to not missing or point to the wrong map. So just make sure this is something I usually do. Is under the project packaging and the list of maps include into a package build. Okay, I think that's it about the whole process, how to publish a model, a project from Unreal into Quest based on the 4.25. All right, I almost forgot, since we are having both old version and new version here, so make sure you're not missing that step in the Android SDK. By default, this is all point to the default environment path. But however, I have both old version and new version here. So I do want to manually link the NDK file. So here, if you click the 3 dot, you should be able to see your drive, and then you can go to link this manually. In this case, that's my C drive. And then I go to the let's just sorting by name, NVPack, and then I go to the new version 21D, and then I link things directly here. All right, so that is the actual step. If you do have the old version and new version coexist in the same computer, you probably want to do this manual link to the NDK. But if it's a fresh installation, you don't have to do this. Alright, so that's the minor difference between the older version and new version of Unreal. Cool.